What's up? Breakfast with Bobby, episode 3, I think? Yeah, going with 3. Alright, so things are starting to smooth out with the whole making of the breakfast thing. But, man, this morning's rant is going to go a couple different directions, but it's all going to center around some of the cool stuff and some of the real shitty things that happened this weekend. So, one, I think at the World Deadlift Championship this weekend, hosted by Giants Live, you know, I think that Trey's raw deadlift may have been one of, if not the most important lift we've seen in strongman today. Maybe not as important as the 500 kilo marker and then the 501 kilo, but wow. So that was worth acknowledging, and I don't think it's gotten enough attention from the world of strength sports, not just strongman alone. But I digress. That was the cool thing. But I kind of want to push this topic in a different direction now, this conversation at least. And I want to talk about some of, I don't want to say the mental struggles, because I know most people really only care about that kind of thing if they like the individual or are neutral on the individual. And in the sport of strongman, it's one of the sports out there where a lot of the fans either will have or have had very, I'm going to use the word intimate here, intimate interactions with us. And of course, when you have that, you're going to have people who don't like us for various reasons. Or maybe somebody who said something, bad about you, and somebody, believed them. It's just how it all spreads. And in strongman, it's bad. But, however, that's part of the sport. It's also one of the better parts of the sport, is getting to have those intimate relationships with the fans at times. But anyways, I would like to kind of go back and talk about my buddy, Evan Singleton. And you can be opinionated on his responses however you want to be. That's up to you. However, I will say, when you get hurt and people start saying really shitty things about your life's passion, and you're already in a position where the majority of the income you make is based off your physical success in a sport, when you don't have a good show, this isn't like your kid crying after a t-ball game. Like, this is a rough thing. And again, I'm making excuses in front of nobody, for nobody. I myself have definitely done some things out of character in response to fandom or after being injured and somebody saying the wrong thing. Like, we're human. However, I don't necessarily think the public is aware what it's like when you go out, you dish out, and then these people who next week may potentially be screaming your name in a positive note are now cussing your name, calling you weak, using other various terms that YouTube probably won't like if I say, so I won't. It's a really kind of chaotic environment to receive attention in. And it makes you not want to receive attention at all, if I'm being honest. Like, you kind of go into it as seeking all praise as, wow, this is not love, but this is care, this is praise. And then all of a sudden it's the exact opposite because you had a rough contest or two, or potentially you got injured, or they don't agree with something they heard about you. So again, I make no excuses for any person for the things they say, but what I will say is over the years I've learned that the way that the athletes are treated by the fans is not that of as if we're human. And I say by the fans, there's a couple fans where I've met and apologized for my actions because they caught me at a bad time and I didn't contain myself the way I should have. And I'll say, every single time I've done that, it's been an extremely warm reception. In most cases, they'll attempt to not let me take responsibility for it. So I've had that experience. So again, I'm not looking at this I'm not looking at these actions from an innocent point of view. But when it's the constant, or it's the social media trolling, or it's you go and you look at the video that maybe Giants Live or the Arnold posted about you, and it's a positive video, and the first thing somebody does is bring up something that doesn't even pertain to the conversation. And it's painting you in a negative light, or somehow detracting from the value of things you've already accomplished. And it's really, really, really cruddy. And it's really hard to deal with. And I'm not making excuses. Every job has its pros and cons. And, but I am going to say that when my generation at least, when we signed up for Strongman, we didn't sign up for the social media badgering, bantering, and the expert opinions of individuals who have not once ever done anything remotely above average physically or even intellectually at that point. And that's really a hard thing to deal with because we are held to a higher standard, and that's the way it should be. But just because we're held to a higher standard does not mean we are calloused and conditioned to maintain that standard. And unfortunately, it becomes a game for people to draw us out of that position. And it's entertaining, I get it. 100%. I don't like it. I don't personally find entertainment in it, but I get how it is entertaining. But as a professional who's been doing this for a little while and has made some mistakes, and I'm sure there's more than a few people who don't even compete in strongman that are watching this video right now that hate me, and more than a few that do that probably dislike me too. But I'm going to ask you guys to really think about what you're doing to somebody in our position, in an athlete's position, when you make a shitty comment. Now, again, if you dislike the person, it's really hard to understand what I'm getting at here. And I completely understand that, especially you've been wronged by that person. Like, I completely get it. And I'm not saying you have to act as if you care more than you do, but if somebody gets injured and pulled out of a show, guys, you know, I don't want to say that there are some of the guys that use that money to pay all of their bills, but that is the case. And then there's some guys like me that if I miss that money and it's not there, like, I feel it. I survive, but I feel it. So when you're already coming off a contest that didn't go well and all you can think about is the money you missed because you have bills you have to pay, and then somebody wants to get over opinionated in a profession that they don't understand without any kind of real intellectual value to add. I get everybody has an opinion. However, not all opinions are worth the same. They're just not, and not all opinions are equal. And I think it would benefit the sports if more fans and even amateur athletes understood what's actually happening to us when we get hurt, or when we act out, or when we lash out. And understanding what's happening to us does not mean you guys condone douchebaggery or, you know, inappropriate behavior in front of your kids. Like, I'm not saying that, but I do believe that it may give you it may change some of the things you say. It may help you guys temper your own emotions, where you are now irritated that we didn't do as well because somebody you dislike won, or we didn't prove you right, or maybe you bet money on it. I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. So I hope people have won money off me. I hope it cost, like, if you're a bad person, I hope I've cost you everything. But no, I hope that'd just be kind of cool thinking about if somebody's gambling on you and making money off what you're doing. But anyway, I digress. Maybe just approach these situations on social media, even when there are comments where you're saying, hey, I really think you should do X. I understand that's your opinion, but that would be like somebody who works at a miniature golf course giving Tiger Woods advice on his, I don't know, I know nothing about golf, his 9-iron, I suppose. I guess maybe the mini golf guy could give Tiger some dating advice. That might be cool. No, sorry guys. But no, so anyways, give some of the guys a break. Don't see those injuries and, oh, it's fake, oh, you know, he showed up just for sponsors. Like, no, we're humans doing not human things. We're gonna break down. And yeah, as you add more and more mileage, you break down more and more often. And then sometimes you're always kind of working with a tire that's got a little leak in it. Just the way it is. Bodies break down. And as they begin to break down, there are certain steps an athlete's got to take and change his game plan and change his career. But before that happens, you usually see a decline. That doesn't mean there's not going to be an upswing. So all you guys or gals too, I guess, or whoever you are on social media, waiting to take swings at us when we get hurt to benefit from us acting out of character, I don't know, man. It's pretty low, and it's pretty shitty. And it would be really cool if we saw some fans holding each other accountable for this stuff.